Hello, hello, hello. This is Adrienne Obi, Capricorn Tigress of Astrology, a look inside, coming to you at quite in the morning, actually. I just had to get this out to you, Capricorns. You know, it's funny. I had did several readings earlier, and I was going to go to sleep, and I thought if I go to sleep, that means I got to take off my makeup and I got to start all over. And if I get up in the middle of the night and I feel like I got to say something, then it'll be too late. I gotta get it out. And so what I did was I laid out the all the signs that were left to do, which were 9 signs, and I laid them out, and I closed my eyes because in my heart I really wanted to do Capricorn, but I just laid them out and closed my eyes, and I spread them all out, and I didn't know what I was doing. And when I opened my eyes, I had pulled out two, and I pulled out Capricorn and Virgo. So I'm doing Capricorn first, and it's what my heart desired. Isn't that funny how that happened? So Capricorn, I am a Capricorn because I'm Capricorn Tigress. Hello, Capricorns. You know I love you guys. Anyway, we got a lot going on, y'all. A lot going on. I'm picking up my lucky amethyst. Lord, bless us all. Bless us all. No, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. It's just, I just want to show you something. So, you know, I'm not just tripping, right? Can you see this? Can you see how all of Capricorn's planets are underneath the horizon? Can you see that? Like from there, the North Node is in the 7th, but up here in the sky on the top of the chart, it is empty. 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 Except for the North Node sitting up in Cancer. Okay. So, I will say this. We are going to have the full moon in Libra because I didn't fill all this out quite the way I wanted to. So I'll put that in there. So I will say that we are going to have the full moon in Libra. Okay. And that full moon is going to be happening on the 19th of April. Okay. That's going to be major, that full moon on the 19th of April. So I guess there's a reason why I was meant to see that, so I could see how, how everything was playing out. And also, let me just move this here because everything's going to end up pretty much we're going to have Venus here as well, pretty much. It's at the 17th and then the 20th. I don't know which I have. All right, which is the 20th? Venus is the 20th. Sorry, you guys. I told you it's 2 in the morning. It's up at 2 in the morning instead of going to bed. Okay, let's see here. When that still has Neptune. By itself. I don't know what I was doing. Okay, let me see here. And this is already out of here. And this is over here. Okay, you got this now? My goodness, woman. Okay, and then we got the new one. Okay, I'm so sorry, you guys. I just had, what I just realized too? I didn't put Chiron anywhere, but I already know Chiron is sitting up there in Aries. And I really haven't talked about that in most of the charts because I have forgotten to put Chiron in those first 3 readings I did. But when I put Chiron there, it just adds more emphasis down in the lower half of the chart, down actually, in our case, in the 4th house. There's a lot of emphasis for Capricorn, especially in the month of April, in the 4th house. And the 4th house, of course, is our home, our family. But, more importantly, it's our security. It's our sense of security. It's our sense of comfort. It's that sense of home, that homey feeling that you get when you're safe and you're secure and you're at home and you're comfortable and you got mom's apple pie and, that homey feeling. Well, that's got some issues going on in it. I mean, it's got a lot going on in it because, well, the sun's there. It's going to be there until the 20th when it goes into Taurus. So we got the sun in the fourth house. We're going to have Venus in the fourth house as of the 17th of April. We're going to have Mercury in the fourth house as of the 20th. We've got Chiron in the fourth house all month long. And I think the big thing over all of April is that in the beginning of April, we've got the new moon in Aries in the fourth house. The new moon in Aries in the fourth house. It shows new beginnings. But what are those new beginnings? It's something to do with the family, perhaps the home. It could be the dynamic of the family. It could be, I don't know, new furniture. No. It could be new furniture. It could be, I know for myself, I just signed a lease for another year in my apartment. So I hope all of that bodes well. We signed the lease. I paid the new rent, which was it was like $100 more this month. So it could be something like that. They probably won't cash it until the 5th. Stuff like that. Okay. But Chiron is there. And Chiron is the wounded healer. The wounded healer. It means if there's some kind of pain in that area or some kind of wound in that area, Chiron comes along to fix it. Now, I know for myself, I personally got some electrical issues going on in my house, which concerned me a great deal anyway. I think is why I'm not sleeping very well until they get those fixed. But yeah, there are issues like that that might concern you. And now that I think about it, it very much concerns me. Okay, so I do need to make sure they take care of that. So those types of things are going to be affecting us. Don't forget, Neptune is still down in our third house of communication, which means that even while I'm talking to you right now, you guys might find my communication about everything I'm saying nebulous and difficult to understand, although to me, it makes perfectly good sense. And that is what Neptune in the third house tends to do. It makes, communication difficult to understand, easy to misconstrue. I've had so many people jump on me or avoid me, or I've had people unfriend me and everything over something they think I've said. And unless they tell me what it is I said, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is. Like I had no intent of whatever it was. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay. And that can happen. Now, the big thing for us, though, Caps, is that we got Saturn retrograding. Hello there. We've got Saturn retrograding at the end of April. And this is going to be major because Pluto is also retrograding at the end of April. And we also have Jupiter retrograding on the 10th of April. This is going to turn out to be the month of retrogrades. And the only one I'm really happy about is Jupiter in a way, because it's retrograding at 24 degrees of Sag. And in my case, that means it's going back into my 11th house, which makes me happy. It means I can work on my hopes and dreams and wishes and aspirations. But for some, it depends on where it goes in your chart. It is an opportunity to go back over things and review things and prepare for that last burst of luck in Sagittarius. So that starts on the 10th of April. The retrograde in Saturn starts on the 29th. So almost at the end of the month. But that retrograde in Pluto starts on the 24th. And that you're going to start feeling this gradual feeling of things going backwards. like things like, what, didn't I do this before? You might even start feeling deja vu. I'm sort of afraid of this, but then I'm not, because I know that that's going back over my sun, and nobody wants Saturn going over their sun. So Caps, be aware of this. It's going to be affecting a lot of us. It starts, hold on, I wrote it down. So the retrograde in Saturn is on the 29th. It starts at 20 degrees of Capricorn, and it doesn't go direct until 13 degrees of Capricorn. So that's a lot. By the way, someone asked what kind of astro. I am a Western intuitive astrologer. So I'm doing Western astrology. So this would be for Capricorns that are born, during the traditional Capricorn dates. Some I know astrologers do a lot of the Eastern astrology. So when they're talking to Caps, they're talking to Aquariuses, but I am talking to Capricorns because I'm doing Western astrology. And I know a lot of people ask me about whether I would do Eastern astrology. And my thing is, I'll be perfectly honest, my Navasma is so bad in Eastern astrology that I'm like, forget that. It's Rahu sits right on my ascendant. Like, forget that. When that. Now, I'm not saying it's not true. Everything in Eastern astrology turned out to be true. So, Caps, I'm telling you, it's worth studying both Western and Eastern, just so that you know, and that you're not taken aback when something might go wrong. But I knew years ago that my life was going to be kind of, the way it is. And I accept that. Acceptance is good. Acceptance is good. So anyway, and that could be something that we're dealing with as Caps, by the way. Our ruler is going to be going retrograde. Okay. So I can't even begin to put it into words what could occur for us as Caps, because our ambitions might be affected. Our careers could be affected. Wherever Capricorn and this retrograde is occurring in your chart will be affected. And especially if your sun is there. I'm a little bit nervous because my sun is there. And I know when Saturn, when Pluto went over my sun, thank goodness it's only going back to my ascendant. I almost died. And I don't think anyone wants to die or go through anything where they have to go through life, those life-changing events that are so deep and so, I don't want to say wounding, but they're lessons. These are lessons that we have to learn. I know it sounds, I joke and I make fun of it and I say trivial things. But this is serious. I mean, wow. It really doesn't get more serious than Saturn sitting on your sun or your ascendant, and then it going backwards over to teach you the lesson it already taught you the first time, if you survived it. It's serious. And so I really want Capricorns to take the next few months very seriously. Pluto in Capricorn is also going retrograde, and it too is serious because these are some deeply embedded things that are going backwards in our lives. Now, it sits in the solar chart for all Capricorns, or the natural first house for Capricorns. But wow, how you manifest that, it remains to be seen. I would say review how Saturn affected you. Review how Saturn affected you between the degrees of, I would say 13 degrees to maybe 18, 19 degrees, because we just went through that. I would say that's like over the last 6 months. So how did that play out in your life? Like, I'm kind of nervous because it was really a bad lesson. But how did it play out for you? What happened for you, Capricorn? Was, did you learn some type of major life lesson over this last 6 to 8 months? And if so, what was it? I mean, because if you didn't get the lesson, then it going back over this is going to be painful. And it's going to make sure you got it when you go back over it. But if you got the lesson, it's going to be like, oh, okay, you're going to breeze right through this. And when it comes back through, you got this, you got it, right? So whether it be exercise, whether it be work, whether it be finance, whether it be love life, whether it be your children, whether it be your health, it's all these different areas of life. This is all going to play out. And we're looking at from the 24th, it all starts around the 24th. Well, Jupiter retrogrades on the 10th, but Pluto the 24th, Saturn the 29th, and Saturn doesn't go direct until the 18th of September, and Pluto doesn't go direct until October 3rd. Okay. So I stayed up in the middle of the night just to tell you guys that message. Which is great. And I guess the other thing, too, is about that new moon on the 5th. I don't want you guys to miss that. It's coming up so close because it's going to be at 15 degrees of Aries. That's like smack dab in Aries. That means it's pretty much going to affect almost every Capricorn. It's a moon. So you got 10 degrees on either side going on for a square or conjunct or a trine. And so it's going to be squaring us. And all cardinal signs between 11 and 19 degrees are going to be affected. Please be aware of this. This is major. That's the 5th of April, and Saturn is going to be squaring it off. So it's going to be blocking all the new stuff that Aries really wants to bring in. I feel like that's the big thing right now. It's like Saturn blocking off all this Aries energy. And then at the end of the month, it's like, I'm just going to retrograde and just call it a halt to all of it. So be aware that's the kind of month we've got going on. On the 19th, there's going to be a full moon in Libra. That's happening in the 10th house, Caps. 10th house career. It's going to be a full moon. I'm hoping it's good career and not like hectic emotional career. Be aware of that. The good thing the next day is that the sun goes into Taurus. So might be one hectic day on the 19th and a good day on the 20th. Venus also goes into Aries on the 20th, and it's going to stay there until May 15th. So, wow, interesting month. All month long, the North Node will be in the 7th house for Caps. So we still have that lesson to learn about relationships. I mean, whatever that is, it's the lesson we've got to learn. Okay. Well, this has been Capricorntigress for the month of April 2019. And if you haven't already, please stop by our website blog at astrologyinside.com and subscribe. And then you can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/astrologyinside, or groups where I do free mini readings at facebook.com/groups/astrologyinside. And then I'm also on Patreon now at patreon.com/Capricorntigress. Okay. Well, much love and much love, light to everyone, and happy Easter to you, Caps. Bye now.